Save on costs, but not on flavor for this Mongolian beef. Quick and easy to make using budget-friendly ground beef. Eat well, save money. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Judy's behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. We're making Mongolian beef today, but we're using ground beef because meat is so expensive, but we can still get great flavors using a less expensive cut of meat, and I'm just going to show you how to do that today. The original recipe can be found in my cookbook, Daily Special, but it uses a flank steak. And today, because we're using ground beef, I am adjusting some of the ingredients because when I'm using ground meat, I don't necessarily want to marinate, and that just cuts down on the time of cooking as well. I'm just gonna cut up and chop up my aromatics. So I have 1 onion. I'm going to chop this up. When you keep the little butt on at the end, it's easier to hold the onion when you chop. Just a little tip. Also using 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just removing the skin. I find when I use the flat side of the blade to bash the garlic these days, it hurts my wrists, so I'm not doing that anymore. And then we're just going to roughly chop this up. All right, and I'm just going to grate a small piece of ginger. We want about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, totally up to you. I'm just going to grate it on top of my garlic because it's going to go in at the same time. I just find I can't get the ginger fine enough when I'm using a knife, so I like to use the grater. We're also using 2 green onions for garnish. I'm going to chop off the butts, and again, I plant these during the summer, so we'll get green onions for the rest of the summer. Next, we're moving on to our sauce. I have 1/2 cup of beef broth, and I'm going to use 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and this is regular soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of dark soy. If you don't have dark soy, you can use a little bit more of the regular soy sauce. And 3 tablespoons of sugar. I know it's a lot, but it's supposed to be a bit sweet. Of course, you can adjust the flavors however you like. All right, we are heating up my wok on medium-high. I haven't used the wok in a while. And if you don't have a wok, you can always use a large frying pan or cast iron pan. As soon as you see that wisp of smoke, add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil today. Just use a neutral oil. And I'm going to do half of my beef at a time because I'm using 1.5 pounds today. And that's because my son is eating a lot more today than he used to. We're going to sear one side first and then flip it over before breaking it up. Searing it just gives it a little bit of added flavor. And start moving the beef around to make sure that it's all cooked through. Okay, once your meat is completely cooked through, no more pink, we're just going to remove it so that we can get the last half of the beef. Okay, removing the second batch into a bowl. Turning down my heat to medium. I'm going to add our onions. Cook this for about a minute. My original recipe doesn't have onions in it, but I think the onions add a nice texture when cooking ground beef. Okay, pushing my onions aside, I'm adding the garlic and ginger, and also a pinch of red crushed chili flakes. That's going to add a little bit of spice. and heat to it. If you don't want to add that, you don't have to. Stir this around for about 30 seconds, just until you start to smell the fragrance of the ginger and the garlic and the peppers. Then we're going to add our sauce. We're going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes. We're also going to make a cornstarch slurry to help thicken the sauce. I'm using 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Adding about 2 tablespoons of water. It has to be cool or room temperature water, otherwise it won't dissolve. You may or may not need all of it, depending on how thick you want your sauce. You start to pour in your slurry slowly and keep your sauce moving. When it gets to the right thickness, you can stop adding your slurry. So when it's thickened, glossy, you can tell by the way it's bubbling. You can throw your beef back in. Just make sure all the pieces are covered in sauce. And if you want more sauce, you can obviously make more. This looks awesome, smells so good. Okay, turning the heat off. And we'll put this in a serving plate. I'm also going to add some of the green onion in here. I'll add some different flavors. Oh, serving this over rice is going to be awesome. Look at how much this makes, guys. Mind you, it was 1.5 pounds. The recipe on the website, I'll make sure to reduce it to 1 pound. But like I said, my son is growing up and eating a lot more. I have to cook more. And garnish with the remaining green onions. Are you all ready for
the taste? You know, we're about no nonsense, getting good food on the table and feeding your family. And our family, our kids, especially the boy, is getting bigger, and he's definitely out eating me, which means we gotta cook more. FLO'S gotta cook more, and because if they want leftovers, there's no chance at all. Look at this thing. You know, guys, this doesn't have to go with just rice. If you want to rock it aside from rice, there is tacos, burritos. You can make a mashup poutine with the cheese curds. It's flavorful. You can do any kind of mashup that you can think of using the ground beef with these distinct flavors of Mongolian beef. Sounds awesome, right? Use your creativity. Whatever ideas you come up with, make sure you comment below and let us know and share with others. Sounds good? All right, let's get into this. Yeah. Sauce. Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be steak. You got the beef, you got the meat, sauce, and good rice, and some sides, whatever sides you want. Veg, leafy veg, whatever. Awesome taste. You could add more chili flakes to make it more heat, but well, the heat's coming through now. Just mild and add to the overall taste. Really tasty. And there you have it, dinner, leftovers, save money.
Awesome, thanks, dude. Simple recipes with awesome flavor, and as Dude mentioned, you can eat this on anything. Rice, noodles, spaghetti, tacos, burritos, poutine. The options are endless. For this recipe, you can check it out on my website, FLO'Lum.com.